Hello, my name is Nicole, and thank you so much for just taking this time out to listen. Today, I am inspiring those fellow self-employed hustler types of folks to keep on working, to keep on striving. The ones that work at home, the ones that are unemployed, but yet you are working with children, you are taking care of household. I am inspiring those individuals who have struggled much and continue to struggle because you lost some money and now you are on that slow climb back up again. Oh yes, today I'm inspiring you all because the Holy Spirit spoke to me and told me you haven't inspired people that are like you when it comes to business. Oh yes, you've inspired the people who are believers. Yes, those who are apostate and backsliders and those who don't even believe in God, but yet I like your messages, okay? But now is the time to inspire those of you all who are trying very hard at whatever your calling is, and yet the enemy is still continuing to attack. The enemy at times is making you think you just can't win. And you have even said, I don't know about this. I don't know if I should keep going. I don't know if I should be putting my money into this anymore. Well, if God has something to do with it, there is no doubt. You shake that off and you keep on doing it until you see the results. You keep on moving like God wanted you to. The plan hasn't changed, but your attitude might have. The calling hasn't stopped, but maybe your energy, your focus, your motivation has been shaken up a bit. It happens. It happens. I know that I came to a point where I wasn't doing anything with NichollMcGuire Media because I was too busy making money offline doing some other stuff. Okay? I'm just going to be honest. And I said, it's so much easier partnering with an existing business and then that business telling you when to report for work than it is being your own boss. So I didn't do anything with NichollMcGuire Media and enjoyed just having that time to be around some folks, and we're all on a gerbil wheel together. They may have had their attitudes about it. They may not have liked it, but I was excited. I was happy. I even had somebody say, "Why are you so happy? What's going on with you?" I'm just happy to be at work. You don't know what I've gone through for years being self-employed. You don't know what that feels like. So this is easy. This is a piece of cake. You still get paid even when you talk at the water cooler or pour yourself a cup of coffee or tea. You still get paid even when you are sitting there and you're trying to focus and you decide, I'm just going to just take a quick moment and reflect on a few things. And you're still going to get your check. That's easy. Working for somebody else, when you just look at the very basics, it's easy. Because you're still going to get your check as long as you show up and you perform, right? But when you're self-employed or when you're starting a project and the money isn't coming in, and you've got to come up with all sorts of plans, to get some folks to come on board. That's work. That's hard work. And there is no, I'm going to work, at this particular time. And then, I'm not going to look at it anymore. Yeah, well, if you don't look at it anymore, right, then guess what? You don't get paid. You got to be there. There's nobody there that's going to say, okay, sure, I'll take care of NichollMcGuire Media for you. Sure. No. You are the butcher, the baker, and the candlestick maker when you are in business. And those of you all who have been feeling like I am all by myself sometimes in it. No, you're not. There's so many more that are like you. Well, I know that. No, but sometimes you feel that way, though. It happens. You feel that way. But I'm here to validate you and say it's okay to be frustrated. It's okay to have your share of doubts. It's okay to wonder whether or not God is with you and all that. But he is. And if you are 100% certain, sure, focused, driven about whatever it is that he has called you to, then shake the doubt. Forget about the naysayers. Lose the critics. And I already told you through many, many messages to let go of the toxic folks. So if you still holding on to them, well, no wonder you feel the way you do. But I need her for this. No, you don't. We like to convince ourselves that we need this person. We need this person because they're the ones that know something about how to put this up, how to, call this person and get this connection for us. Well, you know what? I'm going to learn that person's position that I assign them. So that way I don't have to put up with their foolishness. I deal with contractors every now and again, and I will have them do some things for me as far as marketing and so forth. And when I see that they have done a subpar job, they don't get my service again. They'll send me every now and again something through the email, and they'll say something like, if you need an additional service, and then they'll give you a list of all these things. No, thank you. I had one, he was a scam artist, talking about he was helping out with increasing all sorts of, page views and all this other stuff. He was nothing more than a scam artist. And what he did was he sent a fake screenshot, acting as if he had went on and done all these things. And I guess he thought I was stupid. And I guess he thought I wasn't going to pay close attention to the research, to the numbers, and to all this other stuff he claimed he did. And I did. And I seen he didn't do anything. He didn't do anything but send me a fake screenshot. You've got to pay close attention to some of these folks that's in these other countries. They are so desperate for money. They don't have a clue as to what they're doing. They copy and paste different people's material, and then they sell themselves as if, oh, sure, I can help you with this and that. And if you're not paying close attention to their work, you will end up being scammed. Now, I'm not only inspiring some folks to keep on going, even if you happen to be that victim that got hustled, that got scammed, that got treated disrespectful or whatever, as you continue to work on your projects, your business and so forth. But I'm also going to provide you with some tips today as well. First, some people, I don't know if you're doing this or not when it comes to business, but don't use your main debit card, credit card, or what have you for different things that you're doing when it comes to your business, especially if you're a first-time customer on a website that you never even heard of, but they got some good products and some good sales. Okay, always use one of those reloadable debit cards. Okay. I don't know if some people are doing it, and then you put a limited amount of money on that card. So let's say that an item costs $25, you put $30 on that reloadable card. I know it can be a bit of an inconvenience to have to keep going to a store to reload, but if you don't want to end up being ripped off and you are just starting out with partnering with a new business or individual or whatever, use that card. The other thing that I would like to tell you is when you're creating your business plan, let's say that it's just a real simple project or it's a product that you came across. Make sure that when you create that plan that you include what the objective is, what is the whole purpose of even having that product? Or what is the whole purpose of even having the service? Sometimes we'll see what other people are doing and we'll think, oh, well, you know what? That'll work for me. Or let me try it. Yeah, and then you waste money that way. So what is the whole purpose? Do you really need another website? Right? It's like the minister who has the huge church already, but then he turns around and says, well, you know what? So-and-so, they turned their huge church into ABC facility. And then we should start up another church, and then that should be the church that we worship in. do you really need just one more thing for that website? Do you need to sell just one more thing? Do you need to, have just one more service? How about tweaking the things that you already have before you take on something else? Okay. Another point I want to bring up is making sure that the people around you understand that you are in business, especially if you work from home. Because people tend to disrespect you when it comes to your business at times. What I mean by that is you say, this is the time that I need to dedicate to my business. And then they start wanting to come and talk to you and start, telling you things about, and I need you to do this, that, and the other for me. And I'm in business for myself right now. Okay. So no, I'm not going to do everything that you recommend, or no, I'm not running over to the family's house, and no, I'm not going to hang out with the friends right now. This is my time dedicated to my business, dedicated to my calling. Okay. You may not have $1 coming in, but I will tell you that if you stay faithful and you stay focused, slowly but surely, those pennies are going to turn into dollars. Those dollars are going to turn into, opportunities, because you're going to take that money. And this goes into my next point. You're going to take that money and you're going to invest it back in your business. I know you're making some money. Some of your family members, friends say, I know you're making something. You could give me this, or you can buy me this. Yeah, I'm making something, but that money is not to be used for giving you a gift. That money is not to be used to buy yet another thing for the household. No, this money right here, this money is for my business. So you look at what areas that you need to improve upon concerning your business. Have you put any ads out recently? Okay, well, guess what? It's time to put that money aside toward the ads. Okay. Have you bought that tool that's been sitting on your wish list forever, right? Maybe sitting in Amazon right now. Oh, no, you didn't get to it. Why? Because you ended up spending money on something that is non-related to your business. Another thing to consider is separating your spending, your personal spending from the spending that you do for your business. That means you want to make sure that your receipts are separated, nice and organized. You know how much you spend on ink cartridges. You know you use them for your business. So therefore, that should be separate. Because guess what? If you do it each time, when it's time to get those taxes together, you're not going to have any problems. Because you've separated everything and you can just go into, your expenses with ease. Okay. Another thing to pay close attention to when it comes to your business is when certain measures, certain policies, procedures, certain aspects of your business are no longer working. Okay. Why do we have this rule in place? Why is it that, start questioning? Why is it that somebody in your group has to be the one to always point things out to you? Maybe you're not in that type of atmosphere where, you have a team of folks. Then you should be that critical one. You should be the one that raises up your hand and asks you some questions. Why is it that I am doing things this way? Isn't there an easier way to do them? Why is it that I'm still working on this particular project when the season says I should be working on that project? Why is it that I'm continuing to do some things that have nothing to do with my original plan, my objective? Okay. The Christian knows that he or she is supposed to be consulting with the ultimate boss of all bosses. Okay. And that is our God, our Heavenly Father. Through Jesus Christ, we are talking to him. We are asking him whatever it is that we need direction on. So sometimes I tend to forget what I ask God. So it might help to note down what questions you have concerning your business and asking God for the guidance. And then go back and check those questions out and see if you got some answers. And look closely. You're seeking the movement of God. You're seeking, okay, God's using this person to tell me something about my business. Okay, let me see. Was there a question? Oh, yeah, I did question about what direction I should be taking my business. Okay, so this person is coming to my life to give me counsel on this. That's why we start having these conversations about whatever that topic might be. You see, God moves subtly at times and not always so bold. You know, we think, oh, yes, I prayed this prayer. I asked God about these different things concerning my business. So therefore, I'm going to get some type of, sign. It's going to be in my face. No, not necessarily. And if you are so busy, you're not going to see the signs when they show up anyway. You see, so you have to make sure that you allot some time like you would if you were having meetings with different people, allot sometimes where you have an appointment with God. This is my appointment. Put it in your schedule. This is my appointment where I sit quietly and I have this moment with God. And it doesn't have to be about reading the Bible from cover to cover. It doesn't have to be about underlining and highlighting text. And it definitely doesn't have to be about getting on the phone and listening to different believers, talking about all of their woes and issues and stuff like that. No, while you're praying. And they're praying. No, because see, time is of the essence. And sometimes we are going to be so focused on our business that there is no time to be on the phone. I will tell you, the phone was such a distraction for me for years. We're not talking about, just an occasional phone call here and there pulling you away. No, for years, because I felt obligated at times to pick up the phone due to titles. This is my mom. This is, my grandmother. This is my, good friend. I better, I don't want them to feel a certain way. Right? That people pleasing business again. Some of you all, the people pleasing is good when it comes to your customers. Absolutely. You should be pleasing your customers, which brings us to the next point. Be sure that what you're doing is servicing the people. Because if it's not servicing the people, then why are we in business? If what I'm doing is not addressing their concerns, their problems, it's not a need, it's not in demand, then why am I in this business? I'm reevaluating a business plan right now. And I'm looking at everything. I'm saying, okay, where am I able to get more customers? I'm looking at how am I going to be able to implement some of the strategies that some advisors have given me? Because I attended a women's business seminar, got a lot of information, but I also started thinking, wait a minute, maybe I need to come up with something else, you see. Because if it's not in demand and I'm struggling too much trying to get people on board, then it's time to do something else. But I don't want to jump out there and just do anything and everything. So I'm asking God right now. I'm in that season of seeking and asking and seeking. Okay. While some things are trickling in, but I'm thinking that whatever it is that I'm called to do, it's going to be something that is going to require a future move again. It's going to require some more networking, and it's also going to require a lot more money. I can't get into the details, which brings me to the next point. Don't tell everybody your personal as well as your professional business. Everybody doesn't need to know what you are working on behind the scenes, especially when you don't have the money yet. You don't have the connections yet. You don't even have a clear-cut plan in place to share with the public. So don't go telling people different things only for them to do what? Be critical, right? Have a little attitude. Why you want to do that? That's going to cost a lot of money. Oh, that means that you're going to need transportation. Well, I'm not going to let you use my vehicle and Okay, you see, you don't need all of that in your ear right now. It's an idea, it's a dream, it's a vision, it's a goal, it's budding. And not only are you talking about it within yourself and to God himself and possibly to a close confidant who you know is not going to go running back telling everybody. But this brings me to the next point. You are doing something about your goal, your vision, your dream. You are doing, right? You are active in it. And that is my last point. Too many times I've heard over the years people telling me they wanted to do something. I'm thinking of one particular individual who many years back told me that he wanted to invest in this particular business. Sometimes he listens to my audio, so I'm not going to say exactly what that business is. But never did anything with it. Still waiting. Still waiting. Okay? Lots of talking goes on. I remember another person who said that he wanted to accomplish a number of things. And he had already delved into this program and that program. He had been selling different items from home. And, he was really doing well at one point. And then I asked him, I said, well, why is it that you're not doing any of that now? Because I know he has that entrepreneurial mindset. And he basically said, I don't know, I just lost my way. I just don't feel like doing it anymore. And so he did just what I did, and that was go off, get the job, and forget about the business. Okay? And he hasn't looked back, though. He hasn't come back to any of his dreams, his goals, none of it. He is helping a company with their vision and their dreams and whatever else, okay? And I can't tell you whether or not, he is consulting with God. I know that by the fruits on his tree, he's not interested in God's stuff. Okay. That's for you. That's not for me. So it's very easy to be disgruntled, to be disappointed, to, just take all of the defeat and be bitter and take that negativity and spread it around. But as tempting as it might be for you, don't do it. If something is just not working, you know it, God knows it, everybody knows it, then let it go. It doesn't matter. Well, my deceased father or my deceased mother told me that this is what I should do and I want to do this and I know that they'll be proud and all that. No, it's not working. It may have been, a good idea back in the day, but not now. You've got to let it go. Grieve it like you would the deceased mother, the deceased father, or whoever put that vision in you or dream that's not working any longer. Grieve it, bury it, and do what it is that God wants you to do. Because if the dream is not aligning up, or the vision or plan or whatever is not aligning up with God, it's not going to be a success anyway, no matter who said it will be or it should be. Because the Christian's lifestyle and how he or she does things is a lot different than the worldly lifestyle. And the Christian's mindset is a lot different than the worldly mindset, because the Christian is about pleasing God and not people. Okay. First and foremost. Then what happens is the people pleasing part of it comes into play when it comes to customers and, dealing with the ins and outs of the business. Okay. But God is the one that puts that in you the right way, because there's that other people pleasing that's dysfunctional and it's not what God has in store, And that type of people pleasing is you are a slave to man and woman, and you esteem them. You put them over yourself. You are not about listening to the Father concerning them. You're about listening to them and everything that they say, everything they do. Okay. That's the dysfunctional part of it. Because when they die, or when their money is pulled away, or when they can no longer help you, then the dream is deferred. It dies. It wasn't what you were called to do. It becomes an issue, a burden, whatever. See, a lot of negativity starts to stir up, and it never goes away because it was based on pleasing folk. But when you have the type of vision, the type of dream that God has inspired you to walk in, then it becomes about pleasing God. And then the results are that people are satisfied and that people, want to come back and they want to work with you and they want to buy your products and services and so forth. Okay. But I think that in business, there's too much concern about people all the time, to the point where is God in all of it? You see, in every single customer, there is a need that needs to be fulfilled. There is a problem that needs to be solved. And all of that is connected to the spiritual side of a human being. There's mind, there's body, and there's spirit. And if I cannot touch that person in a way that makes them want to do something different, something that is going to help them, or something that's going to inspire them to help others, then I'm going to have to look at my goals, my visions, my objectives, my business plan, the people who are on my team, and all of that. That person should never walk away and feel like I got nothing. And if it is happening, then let's talk about it. Let's reevaluate it. Let's come up with a different strategy. And not everybody is called to certain businesses. Like I said, one while there, I thought, okay, this is where I'm going to be. And then, lo and behold, if that job didn't come to an end. You see, you get comfortable in spots. And then when you get comfortable in spots, you falsely believe that that's where you're supposed to be. Meanwhile, God is saying, this is temporary. This is just a season for you. Oh, it's a season. Yeah, it's just a season. Enjoy the money while you got it. But I'm about to take you into another area. You see, and that happens. So some people may have initially went into something and everything is good and it's great and it's moving and all of that. And then as time goes on, realize I've outgrown this. This isn't for me anymore. Why do I continue to do this? And God puts that in your spirit at times to let you know that it's time to reevaluate. It's time to change some things. It's time to tweak some things. It's time to say goodbye to some things. And you get some people who will just suddenly, I quit my job. They got money in the bank. They're not doing anything irresponsible. They got money in the bank. They quit their job and then they take up a business. They invest in something. What moves them to do it? It's the spirit within. It's the passion. It's the drive. It's not just about my mind in this thing. It's not just about my body doing things, but my spirit has to be satisfied. I have to be passionate about what I'm doing. And when I'm passionate about what I'm doing, then other people can see it and then they become passionate about what they're doing. And they go out and they do what they're supposed to do and they inspire people and they motivate people and they convince them that this is the best product for them. And then they go over and they offer good things to them like sales and bonuses and discounts and extras and you name it. Because when I'm happy, when I'm excited, when I'm joyful and all of that, it comes out in my business. Are you excited? Ask the Lord to give you that excitement once again. Fall in love with your business once again. Fall in love with your calling once again and work on it and work on it. The money coming in does not define your business. But what does define your business is what you do. Is what you do. And the rewards and the gifts come as a result of the work that you put in. There's plenty of people that are in what you call nonprofit groups, nonprofit organizations. And that money coming in for a lot of them isn't going toward any salary for them. It's going toward the organization's goals, the products, the services, and whatever else. And yet they still say, I'm a part of this group. I'm a part of this opportunity. I'm a part of this project. So you're in business. You're in God's business. And you are going to do whatever it takes to get the job done before you close your eyes. And if you have to wear many hats for a season, then wear many hats. And no matter what the critics say, no matter how much they talk about you because you don't come to the family events anymore, because you don't call, them, because you don't take your money, your hard-earned money, what little bit you got, and buy them gifts, put them in God's hands. Remember, you work for God. Your work that you do is for the glory of God. Well, I thank you so much for taking this time out of your busy schedule to listen. I know it can be tough at times, but be motivated, be inspired by this message to keep on fighting a good fight, even in business. Please check the description box for anything that may be of interest. Also, you've been listening to YouTube NM Enterprise 7. Please subscribe. And if you haven't given, please do to those who can give. To God be the glory.